Breaking news shaking the entire hip-hop world and trust. This one's got the streets talking non-stop. Lil Durk's empire. It's under fire, and this time, it's not from the ops, not from clout chasers, but from inside his own circle. Yeah, you heard that right. Betrayal is the word in King Von's case. It just got a whole lot messier. Receipts are flying. DMs have leaked. And somebody who was once riding shotgun with Durk might have just flipped the whole table. Sources close to the situation claim that a former Block affiliate has come forward with information that could change everything we thought we knew about Von's death. And let's just say, it ain't looking good for the team. Emotions are high. Durk's camp is scrambling. Fans are stunned across Twitter and Reddit. And the footage that just came out, let's just say, if it's real, it could blow the lid off of one of the most talked about cases in rap history. Was this a setup? Is someone about to turn state's witness? And how deep does this betrayal go? Stay locked in, because once we break it all down, you'll never look at the King Von story the same again. This is the expose they didn't want you to see. It all started with a story that didn't make sense, and a silence that lasted too long since King Von's tragic death outside that Atlanta hookah lounge. Fans been grieving, asking questions, and running theories back to back. But now, years later, new whispers are turning into full-blown thunder and Durk. He's caught right in the middle of it. Sources close to the Block circle claim that someone from Von's inner T.O.N. crew, not the rappers, but the real hitters, the guys who don't post on socials, has been talking. And what they're saying. Von knew something before he died, and he told someone close to him to watch Durk's hands. You read that right? That one line, "Watch Durk's hands," is blowing up across fan pages, YouTube comments, and secret Reddit threads. It don't sound like much until you start connecting the dots. And trust, these dots go deep. Let's rewind. You remember that 2020 moment, Von and Durk? Side by side, court case pending, charges looming, and somehow, everything disappears. The attempted murder charges against them, gone. Just like that. At the time, fans celebrated it like a win. Real ones beat the system. But behind closed doors, people started whispering. How did Durk walk that clean? Von passed, and the case magically folded. Some believed the feds didn't have enough. Others started suggesting something darker. And now, with this so-called betrayal happening behind the scenes, all them old questions are coming back to life. But this time, with new receipts, alleged leaked text messages surfaced last week from an account claiming to belong to a cousin of Von's former manager. In those messages, the cousin says, "I ain't trying to start no SHT." But when Von started distancing himself from certain folks, he wasn't paranoid. He was figuring SHT out. He knew someone close was talking. The person on the other end replies, "Was it Durk?" And the answer? I'll just say this, Von ain't trust the ones smiling the most. That message got screenshot and posted to Twitter, and it went viral instantly. #WatchDurkShans started trending within hours, and Durk, silent, not a tweet, not a story, not even a "stop playing with me" post, that silence. Fans are calling it suspicious, but it don't stop there. A known Chicago blogger who goes by the name Trap Witness dropped a now deleted YouTube video claiming he'd heard from a source inside the Cook County system that someone from Block recently accepted a deal. And that deal, ALLEGEDLY, includes naming names connected to multiple past shootings, including details only someone in Von's camp would know. The video's been scrubbed off YouTube, but snippets are everywhere. One key moment had the blogger say, "They ain't trying to solve King Von's death. They trying to solve his life. Everything he did, who he did it with, where they hid the burners, they want it all, and someone's giving it to them." Cue the chaos. The fanbase is in pieces. Some defending Durk, saying this is just another clout-driven narrative. Others, they're pulling out old interviews, clips, and even song lyrics, trying to find signs that maybe Vaughn knew more than he let on. One fan posted a breakdown of Vaughn's armed and dangerous video, claiming that a certain scene, where Vaughn looks in the mirror and shakes his head, was symbolic of betrayal. Another fan dug up a 2020 IG Live where Vaughn jokes, "I don't even tell bro all my moves no more. I be learning." Now, in normal circumstances, that's just talk. But in 2025 internet culture, fans turn into detectives. In this case, they're treating it like an unsolved Netflix special. But here's where things get crazy. Just 2 days ago, a voice recording surfaced on Telegram, allegedly of a phone call between a known affiliate and someone from Atlanta. In the call, the voice says Vaughn was gonna separate. He was building his own empire. Once the album dropped, he was out of there. The other person replies, "And they ain't like that." We can't confirm if the voices are real, but the streets, they believe it. And then boom, bam from O'Block, a name that don't pop up much but is known in the trenches, posted a now deleted Instagram story saying, "I don't respect fake love. Bro knew who was real. Y'all gon' see soon?" People started tagging Durk immediately. "You got something to say. He talking about you. Why you so quiet, big bro?" But it don't end there, Asia. Vaughn's sister, who's been quiet for months, randomly posted a picture of Vaughn and wrote, "He told me everything before he left. Everything. No caption. No hashtag. Just that and the comment section. Nuclear? Drop the T. We ready? Don't stay silent." Some fans think Asia about to expose everything. Others think it's bait to get attention. But one thing's for sure, people are locked in, and still. Durk says nothing, but that silence, it ain't peace. It's pressure, because according to another leak, this one from an anonymous user claiming to be connected to legal proceedings in Georgia, Durk's team has been subpoenaed, not accused, not charged, but called in. If true, that means authorities are actively investigating connections between Vaughn's death, past incidents, and the inner workings of their circle in the streets. They call that pulling the thread. And once it starts, everything starts unraveling. So here's the question everyone's scared to ask. Was Vaughn planning to cut ties with Durk? And if he was, did someone make sure that didn't happen? Because betrayal doesn't always look like a setup. Sometimes it looks like watching your brother walk into danger and saying nothing, as fans scramble for answers. More clips are resurfacing. Old tweets, subliminal bars, interviews where Vaughn looks distant when Durk speaks. One TikTok creator made a full timeline from 2019 to 2020, showing the shift from loyalty to tension. She called it, and now everyone's waiting. Because if Asia speaks, if the affiliate flips, if Durk finally responds, it could flip the culture upside down. But wait till you hear what happened next. Because just when it felt like things couldn't get messier, the betrayal comes from somebody even closer. Just when you thought the betrayal couldn't cut deeper, it did. And this time, it ain't from the streets, it's from blood. Within 24 hours of Asia's cryptic, "He told me everything" post, another name stepped into the crossfire, D-Thang Jr., Durk's own cousin. Yeah, we talking family now? For those who don't know, D-Thang Jr.'s been in the background. Not flashy, not in the music, but known in the city. And until now, he kept it quiet, kept it loyal. But something changed. On a private Facebook Live that somehow leaked onto Twitter, D-Thang Jr. was seen arguing with an unknown woman, and during that live, his words shocked everyone. "Vaughn ain't die for nothing," he says. "He died 'cause folks started switching sides." And I don't care if he blood or not. When you start acting funny, you get funny results. The comments exploded. He talking about Durk. He just confirmed everything. But it wasn't just that line. It was the emotion behind it. You could see it in his face, like years of silence breaking all at once. He continued, they knew Vaughn was about to separate. They knew he was about to boss up on his own. And instead of letting him grow, they boxed him in. Now he gone, and they up. You could hear the woman in the video telling him to calm down. But he wasn't stopping. I sat back and watched folks throw up RIP posts like they ain't have no role in this. Miss me with all that love. The video got clipped, posted to the blogs, and within minutes, #DTHangspills was trending. And the crazy part? Durk still didn't say a word. That's silence. It's turning into a statement. But while the internet was trying to decode every second of Deefy's video, another surprise dropped. And this time, it came from the other side of the fence. QUANDO, Rondo's cousin. A dude named Tizo posted a strange Insta story. Now normally he don't speak on drama, especially anything related to Vaughn, but this time he wrote, "It was never about us." The streets know that. People started asking questions immediately. What you mean never about us? You saying Vaughn's death wasn't retaliation? You trying to say somebody else pulled the strings? And then came the drop. A leaked police report, unconfirmed but spreading like wildfire, listed a sealed witness cooperating in the investigation of multiple interstate gang connections, possibly tied to a known Chicago-based music group and their affiliates. Now, the internet's going wild. Fans are claiming that the witness is someone in Durk's circle, not a nobody. But as somebody, one popular Chicago podcaster, who calls himself Southside Spec, dropped a full breakdown and said, "There's one name we keep hearing behind the scenes. Someone Durk kept close after Vaughn's death. Somebody who got cozy with the label, stayed around the family, got trust, and may have been feeding info this whole time." He didn't name names. But fans in the comments did. Hundreds of people started pointing fingers at Moose, a low-key figure who started appearing in photos with Durk after Vaughn passed. Some said he was just a bodyguard. Others say he was a longtime associate who suddenly got promoted to management. But here's the kicker. Moose's phone number was allegedly tied to a prepaid burner linked to anonymous tips, made to Georgia and Illinois law enforcement. At least, that's what a Reddit thread claims. No proof, but enough to light up the blogs. And if that wasn't enough, the person who dropped that info on Reddit also posted screenshots of Cash App payments from unknown sources to an account tied to Moose. Around the same time, certain court updates were made. Coincidence? Maybe, but the streets don't believe. In coincidence, and then came the tweet that sent everything into overdrive. A verified journalist, not even hip-hop media, but someone who's worked on big network crime docs tweeted this. A major Chicago artist is allegedly under investigation in connection with a sealed federal case involving obstruction, witness manipulation, and financial tampering. No names, but it was enough. The fanbase put two and two together. This Durk. They coming for the top now. And while Twitter's burning down, guess who reappears? Asian Doll. She hopped on live and, as usual, didn't hold back. I've been quiet, but y'all keep asking me if I believe the rumors. Let me just say this. When somebody close to you dies and you still ain't got no answers, that's an answer in itself. Y'all do the math. People went nuts. She's saying Durk knows something. She confirming it without confirming it. And then she ended the live with a chilling line. Vaughn told me who to watch. Y'all just now catching up. At this point, fans are treating every quote, lyric, and emoji like evidence in a murder trial. But the twist, nobody expected. Vaughn's mom broke her silence. On a post celebrating Vaughn's birthday, she wrote, He always knew who was really in his corner and who wasn't. A soft line. But paired with everything happening, it hit hard. Comments under the post turned into full-blown investigations. Some begged her to speak, others warned her to stay safe. And as the dust settles from all this, something big is clearly brewing behind the scenes. Because right after all these leaks, Durk was spotted in New York, walking into a law office with his legal team. Paparazzi caught it. No security, no chains, no smile. Just him, hood up, face serious. Within hours, all his social media stories disappeared. His profile pic blacked out, his location tag gone, and the rumors louder than ever. So what's really going on? Is someone in his camp flipping? Is Durk being investigated quietly while fans think it's business as usual? Or is this all smoke to hide a fire we ain't ready to see? Because remember, in this game, loyalty is loud when cameras are rolling. But betrayal whispers until the house is already on fire. And in part 3, the fire hits the label. Get ready, because somebody from OTF steps out. And the entire empire might not survive what they say next. The streets was already on fire. But when the OTF label itself started cracking, that's when everything went from messy to meltdown. Just days after Durk blacked out his socials and went ghost, a former OTF producer who goes by the name Slugga hopped on Twitch. Now Slugga ain't one of them cloud chasers. This is someone who was behind the boards when Vaughn was making Crazy Story and Durk was cooking Sign to the Streets 3. He was part of the real circle, the early wave, the family. But the way he started his live, pure chaos. He looked into the camera and said, "It's time y'all know what's really been going on behind them OTF doors. I ain't protecting nobody no more. Vaughn ain't die 'cause of no beef." That man got lined up, straight up. Viewers couldn't believe it. Thousands flooded the chat instantly. "You talking about Durk? Who set him up? Drop names, bro." But Slugga kept it controlled. He didn't name Durk directly. But the things he said painted a picture that didn't leave much to the imagination. He claimed Vaughn was planning a full separation from OTF after Welcome to O'Block dropped. According to him, Vaughn had a new label structure lined up, private meetings with distribution companies, and even a team of Atlanta-based lawyers ready to go. But here's where it gets ugly. Slugga said Durk knew. He said, "There was a meeting in September 2020. Everybody who is somebody in OTF was in that room. And when Vaughn said he was going to branch off and take his people with him, the mood changed. Folks got quiet. Real quiet." He paused on stream, looked dead into the camera, and said, "Somebody in that room didn't want to see Vaughn as the boss." And y'all can guess who that was? Fans were stunned. The chat was spamming Durk, 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 like it was a courtroom verdict. And then Slugger dropped the real bomb. He claimed money was missing. "Vaughn came to me a week before he died," he said. Asked me to run numbers on his. Streams told me to double-check what the distro company was sending him. I did. And I told him straight, "You missing close to 6 figures." He said Vaughn was calm at first, but then started asking questions. And those questions might have made him a target. Slugga's stream cut off mid-sentence. It didn't even end naturally, just went dark. Some say it was a tech glitch. Others say somebody made a call, but the damage was already done. Clips of the stream flooded TikTok and YouTube. Titles like "Durk stole from Vaughn" and "Was Vaughn leaving OTF" trended for hours. The story was getting too loud to contain, but then came the twist nobody saw coming. Memo 600, longtime OTF associate, suddenly posted a tweet that simply said, "It's a reason I moved different." Fans lost it. Memo single quotes has been distant from the OTA scene for over a year. No studio sessions, no shows, no features. And now, folks finally understood why. Somebody replied to his tweet, "You knew what happened to Vaughn." His response, a single eye emoji, the kind that says everything. Without saying anything, but while the tweets were heating up, somebody else entered the chat, Vaughn's old friend from 63rd, a low-key figure named Larry, who posted a photo of him and Vaughn with the caption, "Bro told me not to trust them industry family types." And he wasn't wrong. Now, let's be real, 63rd and ADF never saw eye to eye. But this post hit different. It wasn't on no beef. It sounded more like heartbreak. And then, Kemma Vaughn's baby mama finally said something on her Instagram live. Tears in her eyes, she spoke softly. Everybody wanna act like they loved Vaughn, but where was that love when he was going through it? Y'all loved the image, the music, not the man. She didn't name names either, but the live left viewers shaken. Who's she talking about? This a shot at Durk. Is Kemma saying Vaughn felt alone? The fan theories went wild, but nothing, and we mean nothing, prepared fans for what happened next. A new clip surfaced online, grainy, low quality, but clear enough to hear it was Vaughn. On the phone, talking to someone, maybe a lawyer, maybe a friend. Nobody knows who recorded it or where it came from. But in the clip, Vaughn says, "I ain't trying to fall out with bro. But if I gotta choose between loyalty and what's right, I'm going with what's right." He pauses, then adds, "This label's *T, funny. I ain't blind. I know when money ain't lining up." Fans went into full investigation mode. When was this recorded? Who leaked it? This, the final proof. Some say the recording was recent, before his death. Others think it's from earlier, maybe 2019. Either way, it added fuel to the fire. The narrative was shifting. No longer was it just Vaughn got caught in the street life. Now, fans believed he was getting ready to break free. And someone didn't want that to happen. And then came the final blow. A verified page belonging to a music executive posted this. "We were in early talks with Vaughn. He was preparing to launch his own imprint. Young CEO energy." Sad how it ended. That post got deleted within 15 minutes, but screenshots already viral, and fans, they ain't letting it go. Everybody wants answers. The industry's quiet. Durk's still silent. ATF ain't released an official statement. And the streets, they buzzing louder than ever. So now we gotta ask the hard question. Was OTF built on loyalty or control? Did Vaughn's rise threaten the wrong people? And is the silence from the top a sign of guilt or survival? Because at this point, one thing's clear. The closer Vaughn got to freedom, the more enemies he seemed to make, not outside, but inside. And in part 4, the final twist drops. We're talking legal fallout, sealed indictments, and a surprise move by Vaughn's family that could flip this entire story upside down. You're not ready for what comes next.